What season of life are you in right?
I think mine is right now Eat, Pray, Love.
I know we went to the same college
Yeah,
for
do
a
people know
bit.
that? We have studied in the same fashion school. Yeah,
That's
and
when we,
Adhunika would
like-
still not talk to me. Started
I was
talking
just
to me
a very shy
when
person.
See, this is the world is like this,
Yeah.
friends. When you become something, then pretty girls come and talk.
Oh.
Before that, pretty girls don't talk. All of this relationship business also so seriously.
Yeah.
Where like they think everything is about giving and he's taking and
All these terms, gaslighting and breadcrumbing and...
what is breadcrumbing? Acha, thoda thoda de raha hai. Side
now
check.
my mom is also sometimes telling me this, ki I think he's breadcrumbing. I'm like, Mom, who taught you this word? If you could swap lives with any celebrity for a day, who would it be?
I don't know. Narendra Modi.
Yeah, maybe. Nayak, imagine you being CMO for a day.
Streetwear. He pehenna hai. Like when you ask somebody a question, do you believe in God? And they say, I don't believe in God, but I believe that there is some energy.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from then?
What do you think it takes to really build a whole business?
ये सबके दिमाग में एक अजीब सा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस है.
In today's episode, I speak with Jay Jajal, the creative mind behind the distinguished label Jaywalking. At the forefront of India's streetwear movement, Jay founded Jaywalking in 2019 and has since built an impressive fan base for his brand in a remarkably short time. So let's go and find out his secret on how he did it. You're watching One Little Secret with Adhunika Singh. So today's conversation, I especially wanted to be like a case study for people who are watching this maybe in their early 20s to see how a streetwear brand is sort of built mainly. And then we'll of course get into how your journey was from the beginning. So let's begin with the very basic question, and it's intentional when I ask you, how are you?
Oh, I am so good now. I have been good, and right now I am full of life, full of simple, deep. सबसे शुरुआत ही आपने बहुत
गंभीरता से की है।
गंभीर क्वेश्चन से की है. इस सवाल का एक ही जवाब है कि हम बहुत बढ़िया हैं इस समय, बहुत खुश हैं, आनंद मंगल.
What season of life are you in right?
I am in.
Like, are you main character or are you like in the
Everybody is
plot
always
twist?
main character. I think.
No, seasons change. Like, are you in like
Seasons change.
season 8 episode?
I feel like I'm climaxing. I think I'm climaxing. I feel like
So
everybody.
is the plot twist done, or are we waiting for like a...
There could be. I mean, who knows, right? You're watching a
After
movie.
this.
You don't know what genre this is.
Yeah.
Is it comedy? Is it
It's full
love?
comedy.
Is it? Are you watching some documentary? We don't
So
know.
what's your genre?
I think mine is right now Eat, Pray, Love. In whatever genre that is. I think it's a feel-good genre right now which is going on in my life. It's self-discovery, going inwards, doing a lot of introspection. It is one of those epic phases of my life where I am seeing a lot of change. What matters, what doesn't matter, what is important, what is not important is getting very, very clear now to me.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful that like this clarity is coming so early to me in life about what is important,
Being
what is
zen.
not important.
But also, Jay, you've reached a certain point in your life with your career and stuff. But a lot of where we reach belongs to from where we started. So I want to know a little bit about your lifestyle growing up, your background, childhood. What was your education like? Household like?
So if I had to keep it very cut.
No, don't do that.
No? Don't do
You
that?
can give a monologue.
No. So childhood, I mean, it has been very simple. I wouldn't call it very orthodox. I believe that is how much they understood.
Yeah.
So I think orthodox is a very wrong word. How much ever they understood, every time they got new information, they were adapting. They were faster than what we are today. But yeah, they were traditional and simple. There was no art exactly in the family, but everyone had taste. So there is a difference there also.
Yeah.
They had taste, but there was no art. There was probably no exposure to art for me growing up. I grew up in a very a school which was only focusing more on sports, and it was a very simple school, not very hectic. Matlab, very lower middle class type school.
Yeah.
And today, how everybody is stressing about like which school to send their kids to
My
and all of
God.
that. I tell them like, look at how me and my sister
Yeah.
and my friends have
Yeah.
turned out to be. I mean, we are all doing fine
Okay,
and
yeah.
more than okay.
Yeah.
We're doing more than okay right now.
School must be shocked. ये हमारे
School-
school का product है.
Yeah, exactly. So, ये school तो ठीक ठाक था. Upbringing, I mean, I grew up in Kandivali, that also people know.
Right.
So, like, I think 14, 15 years of my life I've lived there. Or it has been very simple.
And
like
then
not-
your higher education. I know we went to the same college
Yeah,
for
do
a
people know
bit.
that? We have studied in the same
Fashion school.
for a bit.
Yeah, for a bit because you left.
Because I
You
dropped
can
out.
tell why, but like I did marketing and you were in design. So
Yeah.
I think the beginning first semester we had like common subjects. So
Yeah,
that's
and
when we,
Adhunika would
like,
still not talk to me. She only
I
started
was
talking to
just
me
a very shy
when Jaywalk-
person.
When now,
Now
I
I'm-
want to do podcast with you now. Or see, the world is like this, friends.
Yeah.
Friends,
So
you
what
have to
do you
understand.
think- what
When
do
you
you
become
think?
something, then pretty girls come and talk to you.
Oh,
Before that, pretty girls don't talk to you. No, just joke.
I was always a shy person. This is like my new avatar where I'm like talking in front of camera. And if you meet people from my school, they would like be like, "Who is this Adhunika?" Because I was like from
Shant.
the corner. I will see everything, not part of any controversy or abhi bhi nahi hu, but quiet. Yeah, observing. But anyway, so then where did you study after you left Raffles? That was your first.
I mean, I've spoken about my education too much in the past where it feels like I'm almost repeating everything. But I've dropped out of a couple of schools
Yeah,
here
which
and
is
there.
great.
Which is, I think, when it's the right time to hit,
Yeah,
if you are patient enough to, or when you're, so you know, like a lot of people ask me, did you manifest this into your
Yeah,
reality?
yeah.
Did you really make this happen? Like you always used to talk about these things. Very nice, that's beautiful. Please enjoy movie also. So a lot of people used to ask me, did you manifest this? These days, no, recently I'm seeing a lot of people making vision boards
yeah,
and shit like that. And I think I never did so much, I never had so
Yeah.
much negativity in my life.
Yeah.
I think vision boards and all this is too negative.
okay.
Because if I'm constantly showing myself things that I don't have,
Right.
right? Like people have their
Yeah.
wallpapers as I want this car or I want this life and I want this boyfriend and I want this whatever
Yeah.
and this dream
See, there's
vacation.
a sense of lack more than
I think
like,
there's more lack. So
Yeah.
that was never there. I realized that was never there. There was only lack that I wanted to make something out of myself. And I wanted to after achieving what I've
Yeah.
achieved, I realized that the only recognition that I was seeking was from my parents and my parents
Right.
only.
Yeah.
Right? And my family, like
Yeah.
my sister and all these people who were who were already so smart and
Yeah.
already overachieving and whatnot. And then I was like this. So I think the only recognition I wanted was from family.
I think most of us, because even I was so average in school, that I just felt like I want to do something good because like my parents could be proud or not to please anyone, but I feel like that's the only kind of validation I would want to achieve. Not the
Uske aage
materialistic.
things don't matter, no?
Yeah, not the materialistic stuff or like.
Yeah.
Also, that is a plus. Like.
Yeah.
That just follows. That's never a chase. I guess you also never wanted to chase. What's your...
No, I realized material things are a great
motivation?
great point of reference. Like say if you want a materialistic thing, I think it's not bad at all. It at least you have, because one huge thing that these kids are lacking is they don't know their goals or their passions very clearly. That is the most.
Yeah. I feel sad for them also.
I feel sad. Same.
Because they just want to emulate someone else's lifestyle they see on social media, but they don't have the drive to kind of be consistent. Like for you also, maybe, like you said, you came from a very simple background and not so, like maybe everything was not easily available for us, even for me. But at a certain age, we got those things also. The lifestyle changed, parents flourished. But we still have that consistency that every day you have to wake up and like do your work and keep doing it. I think this Gen Z, like right now, I don't see that.
I tell you
even if they come from privilege, that drive to keep doing every day needs to be there.
What I am noticing now in these younger kids is that they are trying to beat their own age.
Yeah.
Okay. They are trying to be somebody before the age or they actually mature, right? So, and especially these families where these kids are privileged, they have even more घाई. उनको किधर पहुंच जाना है जल्दी, because you know internet पे देखा है ये बच्चा इधर पहुंच गया, वो उधर पहुंच गया.
21 पे तो हमको भी करना.
हाँ, exactly. So I think no, they are missing out on like the most important things.
Years also of their life to just be innocent.
To just be exactly. So I think they're missing out a lot on that. Imagine I started jaywalking at 26. Before 26, I had done nothing.
Yeah, that was in fact my next question. At what point did you decide to like start this?
I think I say this enough that if you keep holding yourself back from doing something that you really want to do now, there will be one time when you will find the courage to do what you really want to do. It's like a very simple, so keep doing. I mean, you know, whatever. I think the day you build up, see, courage ends up coming into every subject and topic and whatever. Even if you want to pull yourself out of any depression or anxiety, situation, debt, whatever. Courage is on top, I feel. Courage and intention.
Yeah.
Right?
I think but there comes a point in life, like I was watching Legends of Hanuman. I don't know if you watched on Hotstar. So it was very interesting to see that Hanuman at a point, because his powers were taken when he sort of took the sun as a kid in his mouth. And they made him forget that like he
has powers,
But when he had to go and find Sita, that's when he remembered his powers. And because he was ready to use those powers at that time. So I think in life, it was interesting to see that maybe when you need to be that version of yourself, you realize that I had this all this while in me. And I could do this.
I also feel like... you know, more than me, my friends and my family always thoroughly believed, even in school, do you remember, like people used to believe that I'm going to make it in life.
Even I believed, because I used to see you draw those things so easily.
So somehow people just believed, and I think I chose the people around me, not wisely, but I was aware. Again, ki no yaar, the vibes are not great. Or this person does not believe in you. So I was very, I don't know, surrounding yourself with people who speak of growth. And when I say growth, that does not mean कि बैंक में पैसा पड़ा है वो अभी compound होना चाहिए, उस type का growth. Stock market वाला growth की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Personal growth ना, like if you have friends who are pushing you into lifting heavier, getting more quieter, or practicing art in a different way, or talking of growth in terms of how do we want to, you know what I mean? People understand my example. So, I think it's very important. And sometimes we know that there are certain circles we don't belong in. There are certain people we don't belong to sit with, you know.
Bad energy.
There is, so I think if you, again, hold up some courage, to pull yourself out of it and know that the world is huge.
So you will find... said that I want to start
every time, so many times. Acha, when I started the brand,
Yeah, like you were saying, you started at 26.
I started at 26. By this time, my dad had a huge business. Matlab relatively
Yeah.
huge, matlab good, comfortable, which everybody expected me to join that.
Yeah.
And
But it's also clothing. Just
it's
for
also
context,
clothing, but it's all retail, menswear, kurta
Ethnic wear,
pajama,
yeah.
very like established.
Yeah.
Again, in the suburbs of Bombay.
Right.
I was expected to do that, and then again, courage. I had not just courage. I mean, sometimes no, like I said, you can't beat age. Is
Yeah.
one huge realization that has happened is you cannot beat age. Like at 18, you probably cannot be in a relationship that will actually teach you something. You cannot be. There are certain things you only
Go with age.
Go with age, right? There's some things that happen only after age. I think like the kids need to, how you said, no, they need to be innocent.
Yeah.
I think even at fuck that age, like right now also we need to be.
We are very innocent
We are
for
very-
standards. Like,
Yeah,
for our age.
I think so. And just be honest and
Yeah.
just be what you want to be in the moment, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, for someone who doesn't understand or know of streetwear, because there'll be a lot of people who just consider fashion and clothing as just one category. How would you sort of define streetwear? And why did you think of streetwear?
See, I mean, streetwear is a trendy term right now. It's not like we were not wearing streetwear before streetwear came in.
Right.
We were all wearing streetwear only. I mean,
Yeah.
if you wear a t-shirt, which you have in life, you've worn streetwear.
Yeah.
And I feel, I mean, this is my one statement that I always say, streetwear is what you wear out of choice.
Right.
Everything else is a uniform. Everything else.
Right.
So,
What, according to you, has really been that thing that has helped you build the business in the sense that what do you think it takes to really build a whole business from like the get-go?
see, initially, I used to say a lot of things like, you need to be dedicated, you need to be this, that, you need to have intention, blah, blah, blah. But today, I don't want to take people away and wrongly guide them. You need skill. Okay? Fuck like all this bullshit ho jayega, kar lo, try karo.
Yeah.
बहुत actually I said this too much and then people went and did also too much. नहीं होता है ऐसा.
नहीं होता.
Skill होना चाहिए. You need to be a good leader in a way. You need to know कि मतलब वगैरह वगैरह वो basic skill होना चाहिए. अगर तुम एक fashion brand बनाने की कोशिश में हो तो तुमको उसके बारे में knowledge होना चाहिए. Fabric के बारे में वगैरह वगैरह knowledge आ जाता है, no doubt. You understand fashion very easily. It's one of the businesses which are very easy to enter, very easy to exit.
Right.
Unless you've opened some chain of 100 stores and you have inventory worth of crores and then you're stuck, of course. But if you've started, you know how many aunties we know now who have
home
a brand?
businesses, yeah.
Home businesses. So fashion is very easy that way. But if you want to sustain it, if you want to make a quick buck also, come and go. But if you want to sustain it, there has to be a real designer. You need to be a real artist, if not a designer.
Right.
Because I'm not a designer actually. I've realized I am making merch right now.
Right.
I'm literally
With
only
art.
making merch.
Yeah.
It's not even clothing. It's just like people are buying my merch, you know, whatever. So I think that's working for me right now.
Yeah.
If I have to mold and if I have to change, I will change. But we know that when that change is expected, apni phat nahi jayegi. We will still be able to do it because we are artists.
Right.
So there are a lot of people who, if you're starting a clothing brand, try to at least find, if not about your brand, about yourself, that who you are. Right? Say you're all about fitness and you're also spiritual.
Yeah.
Weren't you?
Yeah.
Like I used to see you going to the gym too much.
I do.
So it reflects if
In
you're
the
able to
personality.
if you're able to reflect it to your brand.
Yeah.
When I say reflect, that does not mean go obviously wear your clothing and go to the gym or anything. But you can build your audience around
Translate
it.
to your
Yeah. So
It shouldn't be forced.
Shouldn't be fake.
Because Jaywalking is a big brand now, is doing so, I'll also do the same category and same designs, because even though I don't know how to draw.
So I'll give you examples, okay? For example, I've seen a lot of people they're very warm when you meet them, right? Like they care about dogs and they really do care about like cows and plants and all of that. Then when you see their streetwear brands, no, it is grunge, it is dark.
Yeah.
It looks very cringe.
Because it's not them designing
If you care about a dog,
Yeah.
if you care about running in a lawn and shit like that, show it in your brand. No, show it even if it is streetwear. Make it warm. Reflect it that way is what I'm saying. In your pictures, in your conversation. Don't,
Yeah.
you know.
So what has been your drive to sort of build the brand? Was it always value creation or wealth creation?
यार I obviously it'll make it sound like okay no अभी तो पैसा बना लिया तो कुछ भी बोल सकता है ऐसा नहीं है but for me it was like name creation is that a thing like I always wanted to be famous,
Make an impact,
tell people that this is also some way you can do business. It can be casual, you don't have to take it seriously.
Right.
And it is business at the end of the day. You don't have to, you know, like people are not treating Instagram as Instagram.
Right.
They're not saying the things that they want to say. So I mean, I realized, at least after we started the brand, people realized that they can from their brand page go and talk and say whatever the hell they want to say.
Brand.
A personal brand they can build. And thank God I didn't know a lot of things because I didn't know how to do a lot of things, I found my way.
On the way.
I found my way to do things. So if you guys, I mean, I think people should know that अगर तुमको नहीं आता है कुछ करने को, वो और better है. क्योंकि eventually तुमको वो सब unlearn करना ही पड़ेगा. You know, तो अगर नहीं आता है तो और better है.
Yeah. Also now because people are starting much younger. And they obviously don't know everything.
Can I compare it to something very weird? Like, for example, right now, so my family did not take us to mandirs and this and that. They were not forceful about it at all. Suddenly, when I'm going to these temples or I'm doing this thing on my own, I have my own relationship going on with the
God. Or divine.
Where I'm just still figuring कि you know sometimes अरे ये पेन वो मत करो ये टाइम पे मत करो वो मुझे कुछ पता ही नहीं है so then my innocence is very clear with कि जितना कम पता उतना अच्छा है.
I love that because I also keep saying the lesser the information I have is better. Like nowadays all these podcasts and reels are all about astrology and I'm like if I know then that vehem is there ki oh this I can't do or this I have to do. So the lesser the information I have is so much better to live life peacefully. But like you said, you wanted to create an impact and value, but then what does wealth really mean to you? At this point or maybe pre-Jaywalking?
See, wealth should only mean security. I mean, for everybody, it is only security. I've realized, see, with the small mind that I had, with the small exposure that I had, my dreams and my things to checklist in life were also small. Gaadi, ghar, sea facing, business class, ticket, और ऐसे छोटी मोटी चूतिया चीजें, no, that your small mind, no, you're not told bigger things in life, right? So according to my exposure that I had, those checklists, once they were checked, that you bought your dream car, you bought a sea-facing apartment, you started to travel like this, you started to eat like this, falana dimkana, you realized, okay, now this does not fulfill anything. And I can say this, right? So when I realized this does not fulfill anything, you go out to... So now wealth is experiences, right?
It's the freedom to experience.
It's freedom to experience things. And whenever you want, at any time of the day and whatever. I think that is wealth. Wealth is also... Health. Health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
Old is gold.
It's cliche, but after a certain age, you realize that health is wealth.
I mean, we are not that old, but I think it's... I have realized that if you have your mind with you, if you have your mind supporting you,
Then you can conquer, yeah.
Then you can conquer anything. Then technically, there's no lack.
Yeah.
Then that nothing will bother you if your mind is with you and it's functioning. I think तुम्हारी तभी फटनी चाहिए ना जब तुमको पता है कि your head is not with you.
But has that ever happened?
Yeah, this year has been a very tough year for me, where I realized that my head is not with me. My head is playing games, and this is for the first time that these games are being played.
Yeah.
And you don't know these controls to these games.
Right.
And you've never played it before. But then if your intent is there and you don't get too comfortable and you don't give in into that feeling of this thing. But the best thing is, let your mind go there. If you're also somebody watching, I would say, and if your mind is going there, don't fear it.
Yeah.
It is teaching you something that is going to make you into like a
better version, stronger.
It's going to make you somebody who's going to have so much perspective, that everybody you see around who is chasing something or who's wanting something will make them look very shallow.
Yeah.
I also used to wear and do so much and like whatever. I've also gotten so simple only because I was like, yaar, comfort तो होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए, let my toes
don't say
breathe.
that. People be like, jaywalking नहीं खरीदना है.
So it's okay. I mean, see, the thing is, aspiration, you cannot pull out aspiration from this world. You cannot see, no matter what, you will want to buy a certain car, you will want to wear certain things, you cannot pull out aspiration from you.
So what according to you is jaywalking sort of signaling? Because we do everything to sort of give a signal to people around us that, okay, I'm getting down out of this car, I'm wearing jaywalking. So what do you think people buy jaywalking for?
See, that's the question you have to ask the person who's spending the money on jaywalking, no?
In terms of your positioning, what do you think, or what have you felt?
I think we are in a very grey area. I don't think we belong in any particular segment, genre. We don't belong to. That's why I see the brand's logo is only
not the
final logo, right? What it means is that it's constantly evolving. And when you say evolving, today you're consuming jaywalking in a product way. Tomorrow you'll be consuming jaywalking in like this verbal way. That, okay, jaywalking is not a brand, it's this person.
Yeah.
And I only consume him.
Right.
Or jaywalking and Jay Jaja will become one person, one thing where there is no identification of both.
But it's also culture, right? Like
culture is also, I mean, it's a very vaguely thrown word, culture these days, where culture, kya culture hai? There's no culture. I mean, I don't think there's culture exactly.
Like art and culture, because that's the most essence of, like, maybe people want to show their personality through wearing that kind of art.
But what jaywalking wants to do right now is sort of...
when I go out, I see all the time people wearing, like, maybe at a restaurant or at a mall, I see people wearing...
Feels good, no?
Yeah. So I want to go and tell them that he's my friend. But that's what happens, right? People want to kind of... There must be an aspiration attached to the brand that people want to be wearing a brand name.
So I'll tell you, one thing I've made peace with is a lot of people try to study my brand. And to that, I've started to tell them that understand that this was a one-off exception that happened.
Yeah.
And it will not happen again.
Again, it's a phenomena. But I also believe that it's like you're a God's child. Maybe you were chosen. Because many people are doing this.
How? Right? How did this happen? Yeah. And now there is a very clear answer that I am an exception. But one thing I can still vouch for is if your thoughts are and your intentions are clear, and you keep and attract the right kind of people, they all will take you to a better place. And success and wealth and all of these things are very vaguely,
Byproducts.
they are byproducts, and what you have to focus on is how your days are passing, how excited you're waking up, how passionately you're feeling about what you're doing, how much courage you're building every day to jump from one thing to another thing to another thing without being hard on yourself.
Right.
If you're, I think you, once you start to acknowledge these shifts in you, you play with them, you go with them, I think that is more, that is success more than what
Right.
other things, you know.
Your brand is a great example of community to commerce, where people really look up to the personal brand that you are, and then that kind of has converted to your sales also. Does that really help for someone to always have like a aligned personal brand as well? Like you were saying that you must
You know, I
show your
think-
personality in your work as
yeah,
well.
in your work, yes. See, personal branding, a lot of people think that that's the new cheat code to running a brand. But I believe it can go reverse if you are not a good personality or
Yeah.
you're not somebody who's followable.
Yeah.
If you're not somebody who's interesting in their
Or
views.
authentic.
Or authentic or whatever. And what was it? Culture to commerce. Community to
commerce.
Community to commerce. Yeah.
Because a lot of people nowadays start brands because they have a community. Like if even an influencer has a brand where they're trying to sell certain product because they have a community. And they know that that's where the term comes from, community to commerce. So you've kind of built a community of people who really may be following for you to show up, but eventually it also kind of converts into sales for you because people like you as a personal brand.
Yeah. That's what we discussed, no? Like now people are only buying merch.
Yeah.
You remember how we started the brand?
Yeah.
Like we were not making t-shirts.
Yeah.
It was the
I think the
demand.
pants
It was crazy
first.
demand
Yeah.
for jaywalking. We realized that a lot of our followers are going up and up and up, but nothing is getting converted. Like people are loving, people are throwing love, but where is the money then?
Yeah.
And when we came out with t-shirts and whatever, that's obviously when the brand started to multiply. Because we made a consumable product. Right now, I think this girl is a great example of community to commerce or personal branding. Niche Hair, is it?
Right. Malkin of Niche Hair. Parul.
I don't know her
Parul
name.
Gulati, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
way
That's
how like a
great
young
example,
person
yeah.
can
She is.
make into like this and go and open stores in Dubai and all of that.
It's
You know,
brilliant.
so
Remarkable.
yeah. So I think
It
like,
helps, but there, you meant that it's a double-edged sword. It can go against you as well.
if you're not, if you're
Yeah.
pushing yourself on me
Yeah.
and you're pushing your values and you're pushing your like do this whatever, but luckily like
People like your biduness.
people like this whole, and I think I'm like now from back in the day how I used to do these podcasts and now how I do it, there is a huge shift in.
Yeah, I'm so glad that this is the version we get to talk to. Even you do like these drops and only those times you open your website. So is that like a conscious exclusivity or like a fake scarcity kind of a strategy?
See, today in your personal life also you'll meet a lot of business people and you go and ask if anybody has the balls to do what I'm doing right now. Sit with crores worth of inventory and shut down your website.
Yeah.
Why will I fake scarcity wala stunt, risking so much
Yeah.
inventory?
So there's no like you just want to
I want to go
every
like
drop.
right now the website is on.
Okay.
Right now the website is on. Again, it's such a mood thing.
Okay.
One day I wake up and I'm like, website बंद कर दो.
Yeah.
One day I'll be like, आप ये काम कर 15 दिन के लिए चालू कर दे.
Yeah.
One day I'm like, अब से बंद मतलब बंद. See, the thing is, nobody can, even if I'm creating fake scarcity, और कोई करके दिखा दो.
नहीं कर सकते.
कोई बोलता है लिमिटेड एडिशन. कल अगर टाटा की गाड़ी लॉन्च होगी, पहले ही सेकंड में 10,000 गाड़ी बिकती है, 20,000 गाड़ी बिकती है. तुम 100 पीस नहीं बेच सकते हो लिमिटेड एडिशन के नाम पे भी. Scarcity and all of this is a very vaguely scarcity fake नहीं कर सकते हो.
नहीं कर सकते. What I meant was exclusivity, but a lot of
See, we are the most. I feel we are very inclusive as a brand.
yeah.
With the kind of activations and events also that we do, we are very inclusive. Right now, I myself, I'm in like this. क्या चल रहा है, क्या नहीं चल रहा है, मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है.
Trends.
To be honest, there is no trend. I think the trend is not moving forward.
Yeah.
I feel we don't want to make people look. I mean, have you noticed like girls have this exact same crop top, exact
Yeah.
same pant,
Exact same
exact
hair and
same
face
hair.
also.
Where is personal style?
Style.
Right? So how are we going to try and bring that out of people? We'll figure.
Yeah. So, Jay, most of your designs, like you said, you draw them personally, and like, what's your process like with that art?
So there is no process.
Okay.
Okay, there is like recently, yesterday only I was drawing. You saw some things on my story. What I try to do is I try to like, can't call it scribble, but I go fearlessly over something.
Free flowing.
I free flow it. Then I see that something is happening here, and I pick on it. I do it more. Discard the rest. Then I pick on like one corner of the paper is looking nice. Wow, what did I do here? It's like a.
So can we see a little bit of that happen live? And
Yeah.
then maybe I can give you a few keywords, and then you can draw around that.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
We can do that. What do you want me to draw? Like, I mean,
Anything. Okay, to make it fun, I'll give you keywords, and then maybe you can try and incorporate it.
okay.
Anything randomly.
I don't usually like try to use a lot of my brain. See, the idea is to actually draw badly.
Abstract.
Abstract. Tell me more. Key like words, things, not
So,
like just
travel.
fucking freedom.
Travel.
How can you put travel in? How can you draw travel?
Suitcase.
Kids, when you're drawing, draw for yourself, for your own sake of enjoyment. Draw badly and make it and own it. He's gonna think, is this guy really famous because of this? Everybody who is watching is gonna think,
It's intuitive drawing.
what the fuck is going on?
It's intuitive.
This, I think,
Yeah.
like, imagine. I really cannot draw well.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who can draw hyper realistic
Yeah.
things. I don't think anybody should anyways draw hyper
Yeah. It's
realistic
more
things.
intuitive, whatever comes.
It's more if you understand like balance in paper. Okay, if you imagine, okay, if you know that, okay, oh my god, you've done so much here, maybe you want to do so much here,
Yeah.
or you want to add so much text here.
Right.
Now, if you've
Harmony,
understood this, no, I think you can really understand how to take a picture, how to design a room, how to design a house, how to probably make a shoe, how to
Yeah.
make a t-shirt design, how to do. I think people should do too much of this scribbling business in life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very therapeutic also. I'm just
To
looking
like,
at it
and
only and-
so I recently only got these. It's not like this is again my style or that is my style. Done. So I will probably now go ahead. I love these.
Yeah.
I love it.
So then you pick parts of that art and then
I will.
elaborate.
So this does not have to do anything to me, but this will. Now, for example, if I keep this as a reference, right, and I probably say use this character with its, and then those thingies.
Yeah.
I've got my next like composition of something. You know what I mean? So that is how I go play
design.
with. Yeah.
And this
I
brings
actually
you-
do fucking love the giraffe also a lot.
Yeah. Thanks.
See this tiger? I've never drawn shit that bad, but
Oh, but this is more realistic also, na?
look at this. So this and this goes together.
This I saw, this I love. This one I really like.
If I was trying to impress her or y'all and put myself in the spot
Pressure, yeah.
and put myself under pressure, I wouldn't be able to even lift something and make something. So इसी बात से आपसे अलविदा लेंगे और
शुक्रिया, but हमारा एक conversation बाकी है, so let's go back to our chat.
oh
Okay, yeah. So when you started off, you began with a physical store first, I believe, before you had a website. So how did you sort of think of doing that as opposed to, because the easiest thing is first to do e-commerce.
so you know ये सबके दिमाग में एक अजीब सा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस है कि वेबसाइट खोलो और अपने आप पब्लिक आ जाएगा,
हाँ.
जो कि बिल्कुल ही वाहियात
Correct.
किस्म का सोच है. कहाँ से आएगा ये पब्लिक ना? देयर इज नो वे. उल्टा अगर तुम रास्ते पे कोई स्टोर डालते हो, एक हल्का सा ठेला भी डाल दोगे, विजिबिलिटी भी आएगा, एंगेजमेंट भी होगा, लोग आके वंडर भी करेंगे कि ये क्या हो रहा है, राइट? लाइक अ रेगुलर पानीपुरी वाला गाय डज नॉट हैव टू डू एनी मार्केटिंग और एनी द प्रेजेंस इटसेल्फ इन अ स्पॉट brings public.
Yeah.
So I think website is the most difficult thing to run technically. Of course, a lot of people will argue कि अरे अब तो ads का ज़माना है, ads run कर सकते हैं, ads में पैसा डाल सकते हैं वगैरह वगैरह. But जो मज़ा retail में है, वो मज़ा online
especially
में,
clothing, you want to touch and feel, try.
Yeah.
That's the mainly
Yeah.
how clothing should work.
Yeah.
So when you started out, how much, like, how did the first inventory happen, or like how did you take the plunge into, like, okay, now I need to get a store, I need this kind of capital, get this much inventory to fill the store. So like business basics, basically, to deconstruct the kind of investment that went into your first store.
First store was like nothing. मतलब it was the bare minimum. मुझे अभी भी पूरे स्टोर के इंटीरियर्स के हर चीज का कॉस्ट याद है.
Correct.
36,000 लाइट में लगा, 40,000 एसी में लगा और कुछ 20-25,000 कलर में लगा और उधर खत्म हो गया. Each rack that we had was 2,700 including colors. मुझे सब बाय हार्ट है. इतना bare minimum खर्चा करके we started our store. अब स्टोर में इन्वेंट्री क्या डालना है, रिटेल तो पहले कभी किया नहीं है, स्टोर में से बिकेगा क्या ये पता नहीं है. अब नाउ इफ यू आर इन द स्टोर, इफ यू ओपन द रिटेल स्टोर एंड यू डोंट स्पेंड इनफ टाइम इन द स्टोर टॉकिंग टू योर कस्टमर्स कि उनको किस चीज में मजा आ रहा है, वो कौन सा चीज फटाक से उठा रहे हैं, कौन सा कलर फटाक से उठा रहे हैं, कौन सा फैब्रिक उनको कंफर्टेबल है, कौन सा फैब्रिक उनको कंफर्टेबल नहीं है, ये बहुत इन द मोमेंट वाला डिसीजन होता है. भाई ये चल रहा है, ये तो बहुत चल रहा है, इसमें 20 पीस बना दो, इसमें 25 पीस बना दो, इसमें 100 पीस बना दो. ये तो अगर 500 भी बना देंगे तो भी बिक जाएगा यार, ये तो उतना अच्छा है. इट्स अ प्रोसेस ऑफ लर्निंग आफ्टर यू ओपन योर स्टोर, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन कि तुम एक ऐसा ही स्टोर खोल दो. सी, हमने जब स्टोर खोला हमारे पास ऑडियंस था. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि तुम आग बंद करके बस किसी भी प्राइम स्पॉट पे 8-10 लाख रुपया भाड़ा शुरू करके अपना स्टोर खोल दो. मैं बोल रहा हूँ जितना छोटा, जितना लो ओवरहेड्स के साथ तुम शुरू कर सकते हो, उसके बाद तुम स्केल करो फट 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 जैसे तुमको समझ में आ रहा है. एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी डिड. वी लाइक मैंने एक स्टोरी डाली थी कि हमारे स्टोर ओपनिंग के दिन पे मेरे पास एक ब्लू कलर का एक सूटकेस था, बस उतना ही इन्वेंट्री था, फिर भी हमने स्टोर खोला था. सो सी, समथिंग यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ क्लैरिटी ऑन कि ये चलेगा ही चलेगा, ये चलना ही है. और वो क्लैरिटी के आगे देयर आर नो अदर एक्सटर्नल वॉइसेस दैट विल होल्ड यू बैक फ्रॉम डूइंग एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट टू डू. वो एक क्लैरिटी यू विल हिट एट सम पॉइंट. तुमको कुछ आइडिया आएगा, और अगर वो आइडिया मतलब आई वुड से कि अगर उस प्रोसेस में कोई 2-3 गलत डिसीजन भी होते हैं तो उसके ऊपर अपना बिलीफ सिस्टम को मत ये कर दो कि यार एक बार गलती हुआ, 2 बार गलती हुआ, बट 3 बार गलती हो गया, नाउ आई एम दिस.
And that's how it works. I mean, you will fail many times, and it's not like ऐसे ही सब अच्छा ही चल रहा होता है.
इस साल we shut down our अहमदाबाद store, right? हमने 1 साल के अंदर 2 स्टोर बंद भी किए हैं. हमने जैसे 2 साल में 4 स्टोर खोले हैं, वैसे हमने 2 स्टोर बंद भी किए हैं.
And would you be comfortable sharing why you shut down the store?
The thing is, it's so deep, the whole subject of why we shut it down. It is so deep that I don't want to open it up
Okay.
like that. So I do and give a very simple answer that it didn't work.
Okay.
Because obviously it didn't work.
Right.
कोई चलती चीज बंद नहीं करता है.
Right.
नहीं चली.
So this was your Delhi store and Ahmedabad both.
See, Delhi store was unfortunate. Delhi store was phenomenally successful.
Okay.
It was very successful.
Okay.
Until the end, it was doing very well. The place where our store was, that entire place had to break.
Oh.
And they wanted to build floors.
Okay.
And then we were left with no option but to shut the store.
Okay, but you didn't think of getting
And,
another space?
Of course I want to open another store in Delhi, but I want to open it. See, the thing is, we are young, no? We have a lot of years ahead of us to
There's
do.
no pressure.
I have left the pressure now.
Yeah.
I have no pressure now. And I believe like some things like property, love, कि जो है मोहब्बत,
उसी पे ये सब होता है लोचा.
और property और ये सब चीज ना, these things are not
In control.
Something can be planned.
Yeah.
You cannot use your brain to it.
Yeah.
It's something that comes. And when you're open and accepting, is when these things happen. So Delhi will also happen on its time. It will happen when Delhi wants me. It's not, a lot of times, it's not you.
Yeah.
It's not, everything's not about you.
Yeah.
If the market,
city calls.
The city will call when you're comfortable, when I'll do it. मेरे को घाई नहीं है अभी कोई.
हाँ.
मजा आ गया अभी. मेरा वो एक शिफ्ट आया है. पहले ना proof करो.
So on a random day, what's the average billing like at any store? Does it affect in terms of the location you're at, or it's depends on like a weekday, weekend, store location?
Yeah, in streetwear, no, these things cannot be projected. अभी दिलजीत आ रहा है तो अरे दिलजीत, दुआ लिपा आ रही है तो दुआ लिपा. तो अगर कभी बर्थडे भी बच्चों के आते ही हैं, क्लब में पार्टीज होती हैं, वीकेंड्स भी आते हैं, लोगों को नए कपड़े पहनने ही हैं, तो स्ट्रीटवेयर को इतना अफेक्ट करता तो नहीं है जैसे कि बाकी सब इंडस्ट्रीज में श्राद्ध वाद भी लगता है. नई गाड़ी नहीं लेंगे, नए कपड़े वो टाइप के नए घर नहीं लेंगे, सोना नहीं लेंगे, जौहरात वो सब नहीं लेंगे. हमारे में कुछ नहीं है. हम वो इंडस्ट्री है जहाँ पे
It's a need.
जहाँ पे नीड तो है ही नहीं. हम नीड वाला ब्रांड तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं है. हम तो बिल्कुल we are you don't need jaywalking.
Yeah.
Hey, bless you, Prabhu. But you don't need jaywalking. You want it.
Yeah.
It's not a need. It's a
desire.
Want. It's a desire. So.
And I've seen you host a lot of these tattoo events at the store. So, is it?
Have you attended any of them?
No. Should I get a tattoo?
No, but you should come and witness the energy in the room.
From what I've seen from the stories, it's quite full and like packed.
It is. I mean, kids come at 5 a.m. and line up. And not just from Bombay, from all over. They come, they start lining up at 5 a.m. They stay till night sometimes.
Amazing.
And it's wild. Like this, the love, it's unconditional. Like sometimes how you saying, why Jay? Why is he chosen?
Yeah.
I also ask these questions that why so much love? How?
Yeah.
And I think we should
not try to find the answer.
No.
Yeah.
We should not try to understand. So one of my videos is also coming out where we are like, why do we do these events? So we keep our stores shut.
Yeah.
We don't do any sales.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. That is it purely out of passion for tattoo, or is it for footfalls, or like is an activation that you want people to come visit the store, even if you're not doing sales, but at least that people will come again maybe to buy the next time?
No. We don't have an answer to that, actually. Like, I think, like, how things mature and how time does its thing, how we are talking about time too much in this conversation. I feel like these, like, 1,000, 1,500 kids who have gotten my tattoos, time will tell. No,
Yeah.
it's now. Say after 10, 15 years, when they still have that tattoo on their body, what story they tell,
yeah.
of me is what the outcome is
Yeah.
of the
So
activation.
true.
It's not what we cannot decide it today. Ki, if tomorrow like there will be some documentary or something like that, one kid will come on camera and be like, it was a cult. It was a following, and it was a day where you've not seen energy like that.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. It's what the story they
say.
It's the story they say. It's not my story to tell. It's only for me to just like be there in the moment and experience it. Nothing else.
And while setting all of this, what was your, like, obviously you started to build a team, and what was your first hire? Like, who did you hire the first person as?
The
what
position? My weakness till date is that I don't know how to build a team. I don't know how to keep a team, and I don't know how to navigate them very well. And I often find myself all by myself in the office a lot. A lot of people think that Jaywalking is such a big brand, he must have an army of people working for him. That's not true.
Yeah.
There is barely anybody working at Jaywalking. And but my first hire was just like a basic assistant. Ye pakda, wo pakda, ye kar, wo kar types person.
But then what about those times when before you even had a workshop? I remember I seeing some things on Instagram where you had like did you have a garage or something where you set up your first set?
It was a
with
really,
Master G?
Yeah. It was like a really tiny space in Kandivali.
Yeah.
With bare minimum rent in a very whatever area.
Yeah, of course.
And it was...
It's important to share that because people will only think that you need a big office to become a big brand, and then you need a big
one thing
team.
I'll tell you,
but unless you don't begin from those, like, it's more validating when you sort of go through that.
No, I'll tell you, it's see the information on how to start, what habits to keep, people's stories, autobiographies, books, hundreds of books are already there. There is nothing in this video that we are going to say is going to change shit. Everybody has a different set of parents, different set of health, different set of environment, everything. So there's nothing that we say today is going to exactly apply to
same journeys.
Yeah. So even if I started small or if I started big and then I got bigger, does not matter at all. I think like people need to figure that part of their story on their own. And I've truly understood that I cannot change that.
Yeah.
I cannot alter anybody's path at this point. Then they just need to open their eyes and find their own truth.
Yeah, but the what I was trying to suggest is that first make do with what you have, and rest will figure itself out. You don't need to have all the resources and then you start, or just start before you're ready.
You know, we are anyways overflowing with resources right now. If in a time this simple you're not able to figure out how to do it, then there is something wrong with you.
Yeah.
At one Google search, you are able to find property rates, you are able to find what is on rent, available, not available. You're able to find where is the factory, where is the printer, where is the fabric coming from.
Yeah.
You're able to find everything. You're able to find manufacturers, you're able to imagine in a time where I am able to go on Instagram and tap on women living in Bandra who are 40 plus years of age and are lesbians. I can run an ad to them.
Correct.
And I can put my product directly to them on Instagram and you're still telling me there are no resources.
Yeah.
And you're not able to make it big. You're lazy.
Correct.
And you don't want to make it big.
Right.
Or probably there are other things. But except we are extremely full of resources right now.
Correct.
मतलब इससे ज़्यादा तो spoon feeding नहीं हो सकता है. You know, factories have started to work with smaller brands for smaller quantities
Yeah,
and
no
everything.
MOQs, yeah.
अब क्या है भाई, अब तुमको क्या चाहिए? We are not living in that time where anybody is sitting and reinventing anything, right? I didn't reinvent anything. Hoodies were there, t-shirts were there, pants were there, everything was there. I haven't done anything. I'm not like some Alexander McQueen who's
Yeah.
learned couture and like we are doing least as a fashion brand.
Yeah.
Jaywalking is technically doing the least. No photo shoots, no social.
Which is more interesting because how do you manage without the dependency on Instagram or Meta ads in a
Yeah.
point where like you can reach your target audience, like you can do more targeted.
Of course, in a sense of you can picture who can be a Louis Vuitton consumer, but you don't know exactly, right? You don't know who actually can or will buy eventually a Louis Vuitton. So this target audience and everything right now is a, you know what I mean. इसीलिए we don't do any target. क्योंकि हमको खुद अभी तक नहीं पता है कि कौन खरीदेगा, कौन नहीं खरीदेगा. इसलिए we've not done any ads till date. We've not. I mean, वो dependency नहीं चाहिए. You know, it's purely on merit. If I am good, people will buy. If the product is not good, they will not buy. It's as clean and simple as that.
Right. And you recently launched like a perfume collection. So tell me about that. How did that come to your mind?
It was very obvious. This one girl made a call to me and she's like, Jay, would you want to develop a perfume? And I was like, okay, sure. You won't believe when first 6 months I was just fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's make a perfume that smells like petrol. Let's make one perfume that smells like Red Bull. So that 16-year-olds, when they spray, they smell like a can of Red Bull. Let's make one perfume that smells like pain relief. I was just trying to fuck around. Then we got a little serious about it and we were like, chal, let's make a serious perfume.
Yeah.
Took a year total of like understanding what we want to launch. We launched and it's doing okay. It's all right. मतलब ठीक है.
बाद में I'll check. Okay, so our next segment is a rapid fire segment. So your answers have to be rapid.
So now it's finally turning into coffee with Karen.
Yes. No hamper. Sorry.
That's an extremely original concept, never heard of ever. Thanks for doing this with me.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah, have you ever been broke?
Yeah, of course I have been.
What's one thing you wish more people knew about you?
That I am very desi and very Gujarati.
Who is the one person you reach out to when life isn't lifing?
My sister and my mother.
Good choice. Which fashion brand, according to you, is overrated? You can
Overrated.
name.
Jaywalking.
Please, other than you don't have that choice too.
Jaywalking is very overrated.
That's too easy an answer. That's too safe.
Overrated. A brand.
It's rapid.
Shit. I'm not a hater here. I can't think of like things on the spot. Overrated, no? Hiral, help? Yeah, I can't think of an overrated brand. I think everybody is overrated. Everybody is properly rated. Yeah.
What's your take on Diet Sabya?
Somehow Diet Sabya has been very kind to me.
Yeah.
Since the beginning has
Because
been
you're
very
doing good
kind to me. And so, I don't know. I mean, anyways, we are not in the media or anything too much. So,
But in general about them, like it doesn't have to be because of you.
no bias. Like, very good.
If you could swap lives with any celebrity for a day, who would it be? This is real coffee with Karan question.
Why can't I think of anybody? I don't know. Narendra Modi.
Yeah, maybe. Nayak. Imagine you being PMO for a day.
Streetwear ही पहनना है.
Okay. If you weren't in fashion, what career path would you have chosen?
Sadhu. Preach.
Like-
Cult leader.
Yeah. I can
Sexual
see
cult
that.
leader. Sex cult.
What's your biggest I made it moment so far?
That I'm on Adhunika's show on the first episode.
That's very kind of you.
That's my biggest I made
But
it.
I want an honest answer.
Every day, yaar.
Every day.
I don't know how to
Just
put a...
being Jay is I made it.
Being able to do whatever the hell I want to do, no,
Yeah.
is the biggest. I mean, like there is not one thought that has come to my mind, and in my head I'm like, ये नहीं हो पाएगा. आज नहीं या इस साल तो नहीं. You know how a lot of people say
yeah.
next year maybe. The best thing is if a thought has come to my head, I can do it.
I just said to someone in the car that 2025 is my year.
Yeah, नहीं मेरा वैसा नहीं है. मेरा यही है अभी.
Okay. Okay, that's the end of our rapid fire.
Okay.
Now moving on to the
What is your
next.
favorite brand in India?
My favorite? I'm not too much into brands.
It's rapid. You're quick.
I'm not much into brands. I don't care. I wear anything.
Look how well put together this girl is.
This is style
I'm
for the
not-
show. It's not even my kapda. I have to
What is
return
your
it.
favorite exercise in the gym? Squats.
No, push-ups.
You can do a push-up?
I can do
Come.
many.
Do one.
Not
do
in
5.
this.
Come.
Not
do 5
right
push-ups.
now.
Do?
No.
They will...
I'll send you the video from the gym.
I've never seen a girl do push-ups more than
Yeah,
5.
I do like normal push-ups, like not even knee push-ups.
What? Do you take hot water shower or cold water shower?
Hot. Why?
Just. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, if someone watching this in the... Now rapid fire is over.
Okay. Then,
Okay, if someone watching this
what
in the
advice would
early-
you like to give?
Yeah.
Wow.
To find the right opportunities, what advice?
Okay, if you're in your early 20s, you need to only try to find passion. That has to be your only goal. That I want to understand what my truest liking is, not societal coolness. Like if the society thinks that doing this is cool and that is why I did it and blah blah blah. No, not like that. If you like boring things, you like to read a book, and books are your passion, then books. Or if you have never, and I think in your early 20s, 20s, 30s, whatever, at any age, you should constantly try things that you have never done. Not just dance freely, sing very openly, or write someday,
Take solo
or draw
trips.
someday. Huh?
Take solo trips.
Take solo trips. You must. Please take a slow trip sometime, whenever you find time, because I think these young people must travel on their own, not wait for friends to come with them, not wait for anybody to come with them. Travel solo, travel a lot.
And travel anyhow.
Anyhow, at
Train,
any opportunity
bus,
you get.
Flight.
Any opportunity you get, first thing, travel. And do a slow travel.
Yeah.
Not a shopping spree travel.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to Dubai Mall and I'm...
Solo trip to Dubai.
yeah. That, the most depressing
Go to
thing
the
you can do.
mountains. I think that's like when I do solo trip, I go to the mountains.
Nice.
Okay. And when, like I was about to ask, do you believe in manifestation? But you already answered. So I'll ask you another question. Do you believe in astrology?
If you're believing too much in astrology, I think then to leave that girl ASAP. Because she's doing something to you.
Don't say that.
No, I mean, do you believe in astrology?
fully.
Fully? But then what do you do? Like,
No,
say
but the science of it, not like someone will say do this puja or do this, do that.
But no, why? See, okay, good that you said this. I was just talking to this girl, no, who works at Hero. This is so convenient. It's so trendy to say that...
Mercury retrograde.
No, it's so trendy to say, like when you ask somebody a question, do you believe in God? And they say, I don't believe in God, but I believe that there is some energy.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from then? Like that there is some energy.
Yeah.
Ye proof tumko surety hai.
Yeah.
Without any this. It's the same thing you said. No, I believe in astrology, but I don't believe in puja, this, that. Why?
No,
Then go full.
pujas I do, but like it's a general thing. Like ye kam karne ke liye ye kar do nahi. But the science of it, it's good to read your chart to understand that ye period mein stay
How is your
low-key.
2025 going to be?
I've not checked yet, but my 2024 was not that great, and I know why. Because
2024 was shit for
because
a
Shani ka saal
lot.
tha. And that's why you must have been pulled to Hanumanji, and so was I.
Right.
Because so these are basic like astrology, like that you need to know about your chart and play accordingly, because you know that अभी कुछ भी कर लो तो
नहीं
कोई
चलेगा.
फायदा नहीं है, और कर लोगे तो ये बहुत ही अच्छा टाइम है, तो और जोर करो, you know.
Right.
So at least to know that it's good to.
I'm new to
Yeah.
these chapters.
Yeah.
I'm very new to, like I
But it
said.
kind of finds you when you are ready for it. Like, I was not always into it, right? But certain circumstantial things happen when you get to like the depth of what it is. You want to find answers. You want to know why certain things are happening. And then it just kind of connects. And you know that, okay, yeah, this works.
I mean, see, one thing I've understood and accepted that, like I said, right, small minds.
Yeah.
Very small minds. Our imagination is very, as vast and as crazy as it is, cannot comprehend what really is going on.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what is there and what is not there, and we cannot decide.
Yeah.
So whatever sails your boat, whatever sails his or whoever's viewing, whatever they believe in, if they don't believe
But
in
you
it.
don't. You don't check.
I'm not saying that I don't. I'm saying that my mind is too small to fact check or to confirm anything.
Anything.
Right? To confirm anything at all. And we cannot hold this feeling that I know.
Has someone asked you your birth time?
Many times. What time were you born? And that
Good.
very second I know that, okay, अच्छा बेटा. You know? यार बहुत लोगों की कुंडलियां मिला के शादियां हुई है. और आज के ज़माने में तुम देख ही रहे हो क्या चल रहा है.
So what's your take on like modern day relationships?
Man, I think like the way everything has become so casual, no. 2 शादी तो मैं ही कर लेता. I keep saying कि साला इतना आसानी से divorce. Okay. Every second girl I'm meeting is divorced right now. Everybody I'm meeting is either confused and this and that, and has taken all of this relationship business also so seriously.
Yeah.
Where like they think everything is about giving and he's taking, and you know what I mean?
And all these terms, gaslighting and breadcrumbing and...
What is breadcrumbing? अच्छा थोड़ा दे रहा है. Is that breadcrumbing?
And what else? Benching and...
Side
now
check.
my mom is also sometimes telling me this, ki I think he's breadcrumbing. I'm like, Mom, who taught you this word? So I think this has become like everyone's trying to analyze a lot.
That's why, you know, at the start of this video, no, I said it feels like this world is climaxing. The world is only climaxing. I feel like everybody is on some kind of edge. Everybody is trying to make sense of things where you don't have to. When it comes to relationships, I really think that people should... they'll know. I think with time, people will find out. People will understand these things. It's very simple.
And we are moving towards the end of the show. And if there was like 3 tips that you could give someone who's sort of starting out, what would it be? Like you can break it down into 3. Aspiring entrepreneurs or anyone.
That don't plan anything. Is the opposite of what people say. Because now that you're asking me, I can say my shit.
Yeah.
Don't plan anything because your imagination is small. You don't even know, according to your plans, you're probably thinking of achieving something in the next 20 years, you will achieve in the first 5 years only. So don't plan. Second, be here. Don't live in the future. Don't live in the past. Be here. Try to make something out of today in your brand. Don't think that if I do this, this will happen and then that person will like me or anything. Be here. Be excited about creation and not reward. So that is 2. And third is don't build too much dependency on anything. Don't make your entire brand be dependent on something. You know, let it be that, then be original. When I say original, there is nobody that can be like you. There is no way anybody can have the exact same traits and the same words and the same vocabulary and everything as you.
As long as you have the same surgeon.
So try to replicate, like try to bring that similar energy that you have. मैं लोगों को honestly बोलता हूँ, अगर हरामी है ना तू, पूरा हरामी पना दिखा अपने brand. You know, अगर तू अच्छा है ना, तो अच्छा ही रहे in your brand. Don't try to contrast that. So that is also one very, be honest with your brand because it deserves that much honesty.
Yeah.
And these things have energy. So if you are lying to it, you're doing a huge disservice to your own brand and it will never give you back. It will only give you back when you're your truest self. And the better and faster you understand this, the better.
So to wrap this up, since our show's name is One Little Secret, what has your secret been to success? If you could like pinpoint one.
See, I think that I was recently talking to one of my first interns that I had hired. And after like the first 4-5 months of starting Jaywalking only, we believed at that point, at that time, that we are the best in the country and that we are successful. From the first product that we had made, I believed that I am the best and I am successful.
Self-belief.
Self-belief or whatever. Now in these days, you call it Dilulu also.
Yeah.
Or you call it whatever. But I think if you... So that is where there is a difference between manifestation and belief.
Yeah.
There are some things that you believe are true, are happening in your life. That's...
Yeah.
And
I think वो बचपन से you know कि मैं कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए, you know, I have to do something bigger than what has been offered to me.
Or if you believe that you, whatever you do is big, not बड़ा करने के लिए, there is a... So that's what I'm saying, no? Even when we were sitting in the little office in Kandivali, we knew. I'm not saying we had a delusional, but we knew. And that is why only big things are happening. You know, like to be sitting in like an office this massive in less than 5 years of your career,
of course,
which is bought in Lower Parel, does not sound very believable, no? With like that limited amount of skill set, with that limited amount of knowledge that I had about taxing and this and that and production. How is it possible? I think it's by believing that
कर लूँगा
कि हो गया है कि ये हो गया है.
So we've come to the end of our conversation. Thank you for your time. Don't laugh.
अफसोस. समय समाप्ति की कोशिश.
Again?
नहीं ठीक है. ये ऐसे ही होता है ये सब.
We liked you to sign this for us. Our wall of fame. You're the first guest, so please.
Thank you. Where do you want me to do? ऐसे पूरा full ना?
Any part of it.
This is going to come off, no?
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I really appreciate, honestly, not for the camera. If you like this conversation, don't forget to
like, comment, subscribe. And follow her on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, buy some of our stuff. Look what happened out of the courage that she built. और हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए आपका बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you.
आपके आशीर्वाद और आपके सहकार से हम और काफ़ी ऐसे पॉडकास्ट करते रहे. ऐसी हमारा आशीर्वाद है.
Thank you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel.
Bye. Thank you.